Welcome back to Blockbuster Bums. Grab you some weed, roll you a blunt, and let's talk frickin' movies. Yeah, Alex ain't here tonight. He's, I don't know, doing something, throwing up or some shit. So it's going to be anarchy in the arena tonight. We do have Barry, Tom, and David along with myself here. So we're going to talk The Last Crusade. I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to figure it out. So, yeah.
Sounds good.
I don't really have any structure here, boys. So, Tommy, where you want to start?
Let's just go around and everything. Like, how was your rewatch, Ray?
Hey, this is probably my favorite of the trilogy, and I say trilogy because there's a couple stinkers at the end.
No, I understand what you. I'm with you when you say trilogy. Like, yes,
But
I mean, that's a whole different argument when we argue like that.
But from the beginning action to the storyline to the integration of his dad to the practical effects, the music was on point once again. Like it was just a nice swan song to end the franchise.
Okay. It certainly would have been.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's a perfect popcorn movie. There wasn't. It moved briskly the whole time. All of the characters were well enough developed. The action was all excellent, and the Connery charm was just undeniable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Had you seen it before?
Yes, I had seen this before.
No, yeah. Upon rewatch, yeah, I don't know. I liked it, but it was very. You definitely tell it was a Spielberg movie, like the way it was directed, I feel like it was very much of its time. Like I even mentioned that to Alex. Like so many of the little jokes and comedic points that were made, they were tropes all over pop culture at that time period. And it was just like one big collaboration of them here. So I was like, I get how this is like like everybody loves this movie because like for that time period, it was like everybody's favorite jokes across culture.
Yeah.
David, I assume you love this.
I love this.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with Ray. I think this is my favorite of those first three trilogy. That kind of core trilogy. It was very much, thematically kind of very much the same as the other two, but I felt like this movie provided so much more of that backstory that I felt like viewers of the time were probably wanting from the film.
Yeah.
For sure.
You get the backstory of how he becomes Indiana Jones, and you get a little bit more about Ravenwood. You get a little bit more about these pieces that were kind of missing from the first two films as to how did this guy end up being a treasure hunter.
Or even something as simple as like where did the fear of snakes come from?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
all
these little points.
A couple of those incidents in the beginning there would be that that spark.
Exactly, and I just you can almost see a little bit of Spielberg's inspiration if you know Spielberg well. He likes to draw on those father-son sort of dialogues, and he likes to set up those scenes. I think there's something a part of his own childhood that he tries to put into those types of films. So I think this was one of those films that you can really see Spielberg's sort of inner motivations come out into the film, which is really cool to see too.
Okay. I would say, and I, of course, I recognize Steven Spielberg is a great director. I'm not pretending he's not. I think he's a little overrated, personally. I would have to say, of all of the Spielberg directed movies, this is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
I think Spielberg he's all over the place with what he directs, but I think his franchises that he dips into is probably his most structured that he has, like Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones. He does really good with the war movies, but the franchise I think is where he really hits point.
and I think David touched on, I think maybe you did too, Ray, the very beginning of the movie kicking off with River Phoenix
Oh yeah.
playing, I don't know what age he's supposed to be there, probably like 16, 17, I don't know for sure.
I don't know, but
Um,
shout out to childhood obesity though. like,
yeah,
like
poor
from
guy.
like I said, from the start, like you already get like the fat kid like sidekick trope,
Yeah.
like like I said, quintessential for that time in cinema and everything. Like he even plays like the bumbling idiot, where he's sitting there like Indy, Indy, Indy. And he's like, shut the hell up, like.
Yes.
I mean, or when he comes to still blowing the damn horn in his face and all.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's playing that bumbling sidekick that, like, at that time period in culture, like, everybody knew in different forms of media.
Yeah. That
Like,
character should still be a thing, by the way, because that character's great. Yeah.
there's so many little jokes. Or like he was saying, the father-son one. The one they're friggin' back-to-back. The dad what? Dad what?
Mm.
Like, that got used in so many other forms, like, cross-culture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's just like this was one of those movies that either like stuff pulled from it or it pulled from stuff at its time.
Mm.
And I think that's why it works with like that demographic in that period, because like they're almost like inside jokes that people like at that period in time register and know offhand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like whether, like I said, whether you recognize it or not, but like if you think back, it was all around.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of good stuff like that in there.
Yeah.
And where were they at? Was it Utah? That was the
because they used the,
backdrop.
like the mittens and everything of it in the background, and what he was like on a Boy Scout expedition.
Yeah,
or
this is the
whatever.
greatest scouting
Like,
Boy
yeah.
Scouts troop ever.
Well,
They're
because
all out on horseback.
I think it was Arches National Park.
Yeah.
When your
where that
dad
was
when your
filmed,
dad's
so.
a professor, I'm sure he paid and signed off and everything for you to go do whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, Dr. Jones seemed to like senior seemed to see he had the funds.
Yeah, all we did was sit
Like-
around in a gym, you know, and they're out exploring caves on horseback. It's awesome. It struck me big time in that opening how good of a job River Phoenix did of being Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Like the
mannerisms,
mannerisms,
like a
yeah.
spark of
speech
it.
pattern,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it was just spot on. And even the guy who inspired Indiana Jones' look, whoever this archaeologist, you know, Tomb Raider guy was at the beginning, even he sounded similar to Harrison Ford and presented similarly to how Harrison Ford did. So it's just kind of neat to see how both of those guys kind of portrayed Harrison Ford as
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Oh, almost like how he grew, like he idolized. I mean, it was the whole he still got praised and everything with the hat and all that. Like I
Yeah.
think that was what the whole purpose of that. Or even like when he like had that smirk at the end, he's like, the man knew like we're gonna get it back from this kid and everything. It's just like like damn, like this guy got one over. Good, like. I mean, I could see how, like you said, he's pulled him from both worlds to where he was raised in this, like, world of academia and all, so he has, like, the knowledge and this proclivity for these artifacts, but at the same time, he's willing to do what, like, that demographic of people are, like, doing at the same time, where, like, he will do what almost looks like grave robbing and stuff to get this stuff to secure it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he'll
so,
do what's
yeah,
necessary.
That's why I thought it's almost like a good parallel and all. Because, like I said, it goes from straight getting caught to cut to now he's an adult still trying to get the same damn thing from the same motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
Pulled
before
it
we get
off.
too far into that part, how do you guys like the train action sequence?
Excellent. I mean, it
I-
was no Octopussy, but it was still pretty good.
I wanted him to knock that fucking ginger off the train so bad. Like, because one, he was so annoying and everything, even down in the damn cave hopping around. And then he was the only one that really, like, pulled a knife out on the kid.
Yeah.
Like, other dude even had a gun, never pulled the gun out or anything because he shot the lock and everything, and it never showed back up again. Like,
Yeah.
so they could have, like, it killed Indy at any time, but this little bastard and everything was really trying and all that.
He was trying to make that money, and he
Yeah,
didn't
that's
care
what
who
I
he was
mean,
going to
like,
get.
knock his
Yeah.
ginger ass off and everything. It's not like he has a soul. Like, just, meh, right off the train.
Okay, Cartman.
Yeah. Like,
Were you guys? I wasn't, but I think Alex maybe you. Are you guys bothered by like the giraffes? That
No,
these are clearly just
the only thing that really,
the giraffes.
and it,
Yeah, the giraffes. I mean, they look kind of silly.
Well,
That's
So
what
there's-
you like. I don't know.
I
I'm
was-
There's
not
a little bit
ups-
of backstory to the giraffes.
I'm
Okay.
not upset about the
So-
giraffes.
During the filming, the train scene was so loud that they couldn't give directions properly. They used those props as signals to nod yes, nod no, to
Oh.
give direction
Nice.
while filming that scene because it was so
Oh.
loud they
So they
couldn't.
serve a purpose.
They were a functional prop.
All right, that's awesome.
legit. I like that idea.
And you know the reason I think that kind of stuff might bother some people, you particularly and Alex, is because we watched all those James Bond movies, and I know that sometimes you guys were put off by silly looking things or things that are like weren't just quite right. So
No.
that's why I asked.
Now, hold on. Now,
So you're gonna call out the giraffe, but not the anaconda?
Yeah,
Okay,
that was the
I'm
big
not
thing.
really- None of that stuff bothers me. I'm all actually I love that stuff.
I buy into the premise for whole. It's fine.
Oh, I don't
I
even mind a
like-
silly looking effect. I
Yeah,
like silly
but
looking
that's what
effects.
I mean. Like, I don't care if it looks like a little off. It's like, I get it.
All right.
I bought into the storyline already. Like,
Okay, you'll
Like
accept
I
it.
didn't mind the anaconda. The only part I didn't get about the anaconda is why didn't he fucking snap somebody up?
but I think that was another joke of its time. And it was like whenever like somebody would fall and everything, and like I said, your legs spread open, the danger pops up in between.
Right.
That was another joke like of its time culturally that popped up.
Okay.
But the follow up of that was he rolled into the pit of snakes
Snake.
and all that.
Yeah.
To where like I get where that may be where the fear of snakes came from,
Okay.
or at least the dislike of them for
Yeah.
like
Well,
entirely.
I think you noticed like his friend, he pulls the snake like off of his friend. Totally
Yeah,
fine.
and the
Doesn't
the
care.
fat kid, he's like, it's just a snake.
Not afraid of
Like,
snakes. And then
yeah.
as soon as he falls into that pit of snakes,
Yes.
that's
There's
the
a-
terror.
That'll change a man.
There's a couple of
They
change
clearly
moments
did.
in this movie. I think that happened. There's one that later on, I think that Marcus's character has a switch up back and forth in this movie that kind of irritates me.
Mhm.
Like, I think he turns stupid on and off throughout this, and it bothers me.
Brody.
I get it. Yeah.
I love the scene where
Yeah.
Harrison Ford says, you know, Marcus Brody's already left and he knows 17 different
Yeah.
languages.
Yeah.
And he will blend in and he will disappear.
But
and,
here's the thing.
and then
Yes.
it cuts scenes to Marcus and he's trying to ask people directions and he doesn't know
But
where
he's
at.
not all doofy and shit until those guys in the Fez knock his ass out in the church / library.
Mm.
Like up until then, he's articulate, he's like helpful and all that. There's something about like after he gets knocked out and they do the boat chase scene, cut to from there, like I said, he's all like goofy and wild-eyed, and he even kind of turns into like a comedic sidekick. Like
Oh,
you said,
sure.
that being like a good example of it there, to where like it seems very out of character previous what we've seen him.
Hmm.
And it almost like it turns on and off.
Yeah.
But so does Sala, because Sala, you remember in Raiders of the Lost Ark, he was
Yeah.
more like pimping
Oh.
Egypt, you know?
Yeah, I had the same argument with. That's what I mean. Same argument with Sala,
Yeah.
and it's even the same type of joke, even that we see at the end. That's cross cultural to where we find out that he's going by a different alias this whole time.
Oh, okay.
And that, like I said, it's a running joke to where like it's even better in their culture because of like how they see dogs and everything. And it's like you're named after the dog. Like,
So I want to make sure that I didn't, and maybe I'm misunderstanding you to a degree. I mean, when Indiana Jones is saying all those things, he knows it's not true.
Right.
in which part?
When he's saying like Marcus Brody has a 2-day head start, and that's more
No.
than he needs.
No, I think I think there's a bit of him that truly believes it and all.
He might be hoping it, but I don't think he believes it at all.
But I think he really wants to because, like I said, there are times, like I said, when we see him at the university and stuff, he doesn't seem stupid. He doesn't seem in any way like incompetent. But all of a sudden now
He's an intellectual, is what I would say. He's
Yeah.
a fish
Not an
out of water if
adventurer,
he's
yeah.
not
but
in a
it's-
classroom or
But
something.
it's one of those to where like they show to where he's almost like overly unsocialized, like you said, to where like to where he doesn't even have the wherewithal to like maybe I should lay low and all. But like you said, he's standing out. Oh, does anybody speak English?
He has
Pardon
no
me.
street smarts.
Like very stereotypical Westerner
Yes.
of that time period in the 50s. Yeah.
So it's funny because many of the things that Indiana Jones said he probably does know, and he even kind of starts speaking different languages when they cut to him.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he does have all of these skills,
Yes.
but he's not going to put them together.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in the same way, his father has all these skills, but apparently is useless in this type of field work.
Yeah.
Like,
Although Henry got pretty far.
just like,
But
just
you're right. He's not Indiana
just
Jones.
bumbling through this and all. Like, this is
Yes.
actually one of the movies where, like, we always see Indy figure something out, and it's his father or Marcus that's in trouble then because they've like fumble fucked something.
Yeah, because they're just
And-
Oxford
And
fucking graduates.
But
just,
other than that,
you know.
he's got it. Like, it's one of the few movies where everything goes Indy's way if you watch it.
Well,
Like,
and
it's just always looked back
that's
like,
probably
son
a purpose of
bitch.
advancing the plot. You can't have 3 Indiana Joneses in the same movie. So
Oh
it's,
no!
so
Like,
it's how do you
yeah.
have 3 guys that are very similar in background, but Indy is separated by the fact that he is
Well, like I
both
said,
street
yeah,
smarts and book
and
smarts.
like I said, but like that's the callback to like what inspired him. Like, is his father, and his
Yeah.
like the whole movie is his father's obsession that we even see in the beginning and all.
Right.
What did you guys think of the Holy Grail as the, kind of the what this is all surrounding, as opposed to the Temple of Doom? What were they looking for in the Temple of Doom? Remind me. The rock
the
to
Yeah,
stone.
in Temple it was the three.
and
It was the 3 stones.
and in comparison to the Ark of the Covenant, of the 3, I think this one is the coolest. I think the Ark of the Covenant is an awesome one, and I think the Holy Grail search is awesome. But I think the Holy Grail search is more fun, and I think that they include all of the awesome lore that goes around with all the Templar Knights and stuff like that.
Well,
allows for a lot of really good fun stuff in this movie.
Well, the Christianity and religion more resonates, and it's more of a out there kind of thing. The Indian religion, I mean, we don't really know. So it was nice when they went to Temple Doom. They kind of explained it at the dinner table, and it kind of got you a little more interested to see where this is going to go.
Yeah.
But the first and the third, it's just kind of out there, so you kind of know what's going on.
Speaking of callback to Temple, I was so worried when like old boy was giving him champagne. Like, if I was Bond, I would stop taking drinks from people and all. Like,
Yeah.
Like I said, I nearly got poisoned and everything in Shanghai or wherever the hell a few years back. Like, I'll pour my own drink, thank you. But like, I brought my own water. Like, piss off. Like, I'd be so paranoid after that. Like, nah, we're not doing that. Like, I'm good. Like, if it's not sealed, I don't want it. Like,
And how do you guys feel about what was that scene with the main villain? I can't remember what his name is at the minute. When they first when he kidnaps Indiana and brings him to his crib.
Name? I can't think of his name. I know that he played Christados in For Your Eyes Only,
the guy,
but I can't think of his name.
The rich dude that had the rock in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but so he
that's
kidnapped.
the scene I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so he kidnapped him technically, and then brings him back, and then he says this whole spiel, and then at the end is, oh yeah, your dad's missing. Like, bitch, don't you think I would want to know about my dad missing before you give me this whole
I didn't
freaking
lead
spiel?
with that, but it did. It hooked.
Right,
Indiana
and
Jones,
the way they wrote it, it was nice.
Yeah, you're right.
But in real life, I want to know my dad's missing.
Well, like I say, but honestly, he didn't even care that his dad was. They just wanted the book.
Yeah.
Like, all of it aside and everything, if you really look at it, it's like they could have given a fuck about Jones Sr. Like, they just wanted his book this entire time, which he mailed to Indy.
Right.
And once again, like, just trying to figure out why and getting to him, like, they pretty much went to him trying to figure out why. So like the whole thing was a big just run around for the book.
Yeah.
The actor, by the way, his name is Julian Glover.
Okay.
He used to be in a lot
And
of
again,
stuff.
he was in For Your Eyes Only as Christados. He didn't have much to work with in that movie. But the character's name is, oh man, I just had it.
Something very German, isn't it?
Walter something.
Yes.
Well, I'll find it.
Every German.
But anyway, really, really enjoyable character.
Yeah, he's in Empire Strikes Back as a AT-AT general
he
guy.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then he gets shut down by Mr. Skywalker and
That's funny.
the tow cables.
Oh yeah, he's a decent little villain here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mr. Puppet Master.
he distinguishes himself from the Nazis later on and all. Like, he's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is better. Hitler can have his world. Like, I just want to sit here and watch it. Like, just,
Except he was a dirty Nazi.
like, well, yeah, he was working with him and all that.
I mean, when he melted away at the end, wasn't there a Nazi ring or something
he
left over?
chose wrong. Oh yeah, he was definitely. Of
He
their
did
ranks.
choose poorly.
Like, yeah.
That's what happens when you don't do the research.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that and I think I don't know, it almost seemed like she led him astray as well. Like she didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. And you
Oh,
could
she
even,
gave him that on purpose.
yeah, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean. So it's one of those like to where like that was his expert. Like he just didn't realize that no, like
He was a fool.
yeah.
It was full with money and the means to get things.
Yes. What did you guys think of? Oh man, how are these names slipping my mind?
I know.
The lead female character.
Oh,
Schneider.
Schneider.
Yeah,
Dr. Schneider.
thought she was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Schneider's my favorite broad so far. I'll say it.
The double.
Yeah, by a country mile.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Because she's confident and good looking, and yeah, like best of both worlds. There.
And fucking hooked Indian, hook, line, and sinker, dude. It was fucking ridiculous.
I mean, she's even decent at banter, like everything when you first meet her and all that. Like, old Marcus has to, like cock block Indy there in the
Yeah.
beginning and stuff like that.
What did you guys think about her?
Just got overlooked
toward
that she's a
the
Nazi.
end?
Like,
There were moments where you're kind of like, is this gal, is she having a face turn ultimately? But then she never really seems to fully turn it around.
No.
You know what I mean?
They want you to like her till the end. Like I said, Spielberg really like honey potted you along.
Right.
I think they sort of gave these tiny hints that she
Yeah.
was playing for the other team, but they never wanted you to fully believe
Well,
it.
even the way she like there was even like a few times where she just looked at Indy and I was like, oh yeah, she wants some Dr. Jones dick. Like,
I think that's
like you just
can
I
almost
can't
see
remember there
her-
was a scene to where
her
like she
internal
just,
struggle because
yeah.
she clearly has her own motivations when it comes to the Grail and the pursuit
Well,
of it.
even, like,
But
during-
she
during the
really
book
loves
burning.
Indy, I think, and so she has this sort of inner battle that you don't really get to see fleshed out. I don't think in the film all that
Yeah.
much, but you can tell it's there by the end of it.
There is a little something, and I like that about it. And you're absolutely right. The scene where it struck me most was at the Nazi rally. And I think though was she most upset at like the actual book burning, or is she just upset at like, holy cow, what am I becoming?
Like,
Like,
a little bit of
you
everything
know,
at that point.
yeah.
Like what you're seeing, you're all part of it and
Yeah.
all. And then not only that, but here's somebody that you have like feelings for that's confronting you about it. That's what that exchange was to where like he's like, all I have to do is squeeze and all she has to do is scream.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And
Like,
maybe it's a small thing and I shouldn't care that much, but I kind of liked that they did that with her.
oh,
Well,
yeah,
it was a mutual respect, is what it was.
Oh, like I said, I think she just like because you even see when they first go down into the fucking church and whatnot. There's that you're gonna get laid look right before they see the rats and that shit. Like that was one of those where like okay, like I see what Spielberg is getting across here. Like yeah, you just know what's gonna happen and all.
All right.
But like I said, they want to make it like. But I think there was like that misleading part when the after that in the boat chase, then when their hotel rooms were kind of ransacked, when they were looking for the book and whatnot, and like,
Right.
so you never really knew like, oh, was that her? Because she was offended that then she found out that he had the book the whole time.
Oh, I know she's working fully
Yeah.
with the Nazis.
And that's what it was. It was that back and forth. Like this, so
Yeah.
it's a matter. Like I said, you can just see how it's going back and forth. To where like she likes him, but she's also like a double agent type thing here. Like it's just overt.
It's actually really interesting. If there's a scene as it's scrolling through the book burning where Hitler's talking at his podium, and it's kind of a pan across that. She's standing behind Hitler,
Yeah.
Oh.
and I think the actor that played Tote in the first film is recasted, and he's
Oh,
standing
really?
back there.
Yeah.
So there's sort of this callback to some of the other villain-esque
Nice.
characters. But yeah, she's standing in the background.
All right. So
And
she's right on up there
she's
with the
right
Fuhrer,
there.
huh?
Yep.
All right.
So it's one of those things where you can't. It's hard to catch that. But
Right.
Fucking Indy gets an autograph. I love that.
Yeah, that
hilarious.
was awesome.
Like just like bumbling his way through shit. Like all right, like
Yeah, that was excellent.
How about the boat chase? How you guys like the boat chase?
makes me want to buy a Fez.
A
I thought it
Fez?
was really well done.
Yeah.
The sneaking in between the ships was
said, "Don't
a
go
really
between
nice
them."
little thing.
What was the other fucking boat doing though? Why was it pushing the other boat to begin with?
I don't know.
Oh, like why were they bumping up next to each other?
They were bumping up next to each other because there was a smaller like
Well, we
tugboat
had to have an
pushing the
awesome boat
larger one.
scene.
Yeah. But I was like, what was the purpose? You're going to smash these two boats together for the fuck of it?
Yes, maybe it's not good seamanship, but it.
It was god awful seamanship. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like don't use the metric system or something here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
It's interesting when I analyze that scene too, because it's clear that Spielberg loves to reuse ideas
oh yeah,
and draw these parallels between
Yeah.
all of these three films. And so, like, yeah, going between the boats and almost getting smashed. What does that resemble? Oh yeah, remember when the spikes were falling from the ceiling about to smash him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's these scenes of this closing in on Indy, and
Yeah.
it just barely escapes it.
this impending doom.
And then the
like, timeline,
propeller
like,
scene. You know, when have
Yeah.
we seen something like that before?
Oh yeah.
Oh
with
yeah,
the
the tarmac with
boxing.
the giant
I'm
pyramid
ready
man.
to die.
So it's
Yeah.
like he likes to do these things where he has these symbolism pieces
Mm.
and then tries to reuse it in different ways throughout the movie. And I think that's not there's that instance, but I think there's multiple instances in
Oh,
Last
yeah.
Crusade that you can kind of draw back to
Yeah.
the original film or the second film. So it's kind of cool how they do that.
Yeah,
I
I
think that's what
agree.
makes it cohesive.
Well, they even mentioned the arc in this film.
Hmm.
Like when they're down there in the catacombs and all that, they walked by. She's like, "Oh, what's this one?" It's like, "It's the Ark." How do you know? Like, just know or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
he says.
Yeah.
Like,
And you notice he doesn't look at it.
no, he's over that
he's,
shit.
he's like, you don't look at that thing. You
He's
just
like,
keep going."
nope. He's like, it's gone. He's like, fuck it, I got paid.
This
Like,
is nitpicky, but I'm like, how would she not know?
Yeah.
How would Dr. Elsa Schneider not know that?
There
that's
had
the
to,
Ark of
yeah,
the
there had been
Covenant?
some word flying around.
Hey, small thing, but she had to know.
Yeah.
I loved the propeller part. I
Oh,
liked
yeah.
the Guardians of the Grail guys too. They
Oh,
didn't get
yeah.
used a lot, but there is something about like these guys that are just devoted to this that made them kind of endearing. Even when they're chasing Indy, it's hard to be like mad
Oh,
at
he-
them necessarily
he
because
took
they're
it-
right to protect
he
it.
took a few of them out.
Um,
I just love how like old boy at the beginning. I just thought he looked so much like Borat.
Yeah.
Like that's all I could see from the start, and I was like, all I could hear was like a few lines and all that. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But then later on, I feel like they should have killed way more Nazis when they ambushed them. They should have, as close as they were with those
Yeah.
rifles, and they got the first shot. Each one of them should have had a bead on somebody, and it's like, hey, even if you wing the motherfucker, we've got somebody down. Like, there's not a medic for miles. You're stuck in a fucking desert. Like, they're gonna die. Like,
yeah, the Nazis put up a good defense in that. scene.
yeah. Like, yeah, no, I thought that was
Did not go well for our fez wearing friends.
no.
No.
I still say like the Middle East should bring back the fez. Like,
Yeah, it's not a bad look.
no, I like it. Like, I just want a reason to appropriate it.
Is there I was wondering if there's a religious purpose to these hats,
Oh, I have no idea.
or if
I
this is
guess
just like
I
some
guess I could-
fashionable
I
thing.
could join a Shriner's temple and get one just as easy.
Yeah.
I think. Like,
Yeah.
see, so I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's some type of affiliation
Yeah.
I'm ignorant of, but like, I think it's a good look. Maybe I'm a fan of Morocco Mole. You don't know. Like, it's a cartoon if you don't know, David.
I remember Morocco
Like-
Mole.
like-
We haven't really talked much about Mr. Sean Connery.
No, we haven't.
No, I don't think anybody's even mentioned that it was Sean Connery as his dad yet.
The first of all, I don't know what to call it, the rapport, whatever, between Ford and Connery is excellent. And frankly, all of these main characters played off each other so well. It really gave it the movie a real like warm feeling, like these people are friendly toward each other.
Yeah.
Like an actual tight cast.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like,
Well, I mean, they're-
the same way.
They're professionals. You got two guys running that's been main characters in multiple franchises.
Mm.
You know, Bond with Connery, Harrison Ford with Star Wars, Indiana Jones. You know,
Well, I really think this is one of those movies that
they
like
can hold it down.
relaunch like Sean Connery's career though, like in that time period. Because I think it wasn't too long. I think we're still talking around the same time period that he also did Highlander, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
led into that string of movies. He did The Rock, then like Entrapment. There was like a string of Connery movies in his career.
The Hunt for Red
like-
October.
Yeah, it was the same thing. It's like late '80s, early '90s, and all that. It was one of those things where his career just kind of like laid low for a minute, and then arced back up for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a good run there for a while. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah, he came back as that like old badass that like just solved everybody's problems.
Mm-hmm.
But like this was like the dipping the toe into it to where he's more like the intelligent sidekick and all that. Like, and your son's the badass. Like,
Do you guys have a favorite Connery moment in this movie? I have mine.
I love the umbrella on the beach.
dude,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
no,
Opens the umbrella,
He
that
does it
is
so
one.
well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I did love that. That toot, 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 toot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played that perfectly. That's a good one. Do you have a favorite one?
The one that comes to mind is him and Brody in the tank doing their little Oxford handshake thing.
Oh my yeah,
yeah, funny.
yeah. And Murray's he's like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
like of all the things, that's how you greet him. Like,
Well, mine is the airplane when of course, he shoots the tail out.
Oh yeah.
And then he says, I'm sorry, almost as if he's going to cop to it. But then he says, they got us.
Yeah.
And the way he did it, I just thought was perfect.
sorry to say something, they got us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
Well, it's exactly what Indiana Jones would do too. If
Yeah.
he made a mistake like that, he would blame
Yeah.
he would blame it on someone else in
Yep.
that sort of manner. So I think it's funny how they can make those 2
Mhm.
characters feel like father and son.
Yeah.
in the way they do things. So. And he does the same thing in when they're tied together in the fireplace. You know, when he hits
yeah.
the button.
Like I
and it
said, the
turns
back and
around
forth
and-
after they've been worked over and whatnot.
I'm glad you mentioned the father and son stuff. The scene where they're chatting, just sitting at a table, and
On the Zeppelin.
Yeah,
on the Zeppelin.
Yeah.
and Indy kind of starts, belly aching a little bit, daddy issues, whatever. It's not over the top or anything, and it's fine.
I loved this exchange.
As a dad, now and being, middle aged, I can totally appreciate the idea of, okay, so things weren't perfect and I didn't always do the right thing, but what is your actual issue right now? Like, and if there isn't one, then can we just move on and get along?
That's what I love about that. But I just love how he's like, I gave you all the freedom to make your own decisions. Like, you
Yeah.
had complete autonomy. I'm like, yeah, like, because the reason why I say is I more or less did as well.
Mhm.
So it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, like I get that. Like that can
scene
work out.
can be
like-
really useful to people if they, it's good advice, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If there's
you-
not something to be particularly upset about right now, let's
said
just
use
get
your time
along.
wisely. Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and you can tell that Indy isn't really ready to move on yet, I don't think. And there's a very, very brief moment after Indy goes off the cliff in the tank, and they're mourning him, thinking he's gone, and he crawls up and sneaks behind them, and his father embraces him and gives him a hug, and you can sort of see this moment where Indy just he just falls into it and sort of gives a smile like, I didn't need words, I just needed this embrace to feel better.
well, and even his
Yeah.
dad said a little bit before that, as like 5 minutes was all I would have needed. Like,
Yeah.
like something to that effect and
Mhm.
everything. He's like, like I never really talked to him and all. And I'm like, like I said, 5 minutes would have done it.
Yeah.
Like, but once again, that was another trope of the '90s where somebody goes off the damn cliff, goes around and survives, and they look down with whoever looking at their their death and whatnot with
What
them.
are you looking at?
Yeah, you don't see that anymore in cinema. There's like certain jokes culturally of its time, and Spielberg, his dream team of them was this movie.
Yeah.
Like it really was. But then I thought about that, like how many movies were really made from studios that went mainstream. It wasn't like now, like it was a damn production to make a movie. Like it was hard to do. So like not everybody did it. So that's another reason why like when you say he's overrated, like I'm almost inclined to agree, mainly to an extent because like who's he going against of his time? There's only so many big name directors because only so many people are getting green lit movies and like you said franchises.
Yeah.
So it was just but like I said, so much easier and media is so much like cheaper to make now. That like some people, like you said, indie movies are nothing to make. Like back then, how hard it would have been to source an indie movie. Like if it wasn't going mainstream, the general public wouldn't see it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. So like that's another thing about these movies to where like they do, especially of their time, capture so much of that culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, ultimately, this movie is for everybody.
Oh yeah.
But it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like it really like that's the purpose of it. Like I said, it is supposed to like hit across that board and all that to where like Like we've talked about the others. Like this is Spielberg's like family friendly archaeologist James Bond.
Yeah.
But that's all of George Lucas's stuff too. It's meant for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only this is good.
What?
Sorry.
Oh, I
I'm
can't-
sorry.
Do you feel like the intention at the time was that this was going to be the last movie?
Yes.
It felt like it.
I
They rode off into the sunset.
Yeah.
yeah, no, the way it, and once again another trope of its time. Who ride, like I said, even the phrase "riding off into the sunset,"
Yeah.
like say that to some like certain demographics younger, they're like, "What the hell do you mean?"
Right.
Like they may not even know it's like a euphemism for death, even.
Mhm.
Like it's just once again like phrases and culture of its time.
Yeah.
But like I said, like I fully believe that this was supposed to be a trilogy, and that's how it was supposed to end because everything that was successful was a trilogy at its time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like so, I mean,
It just seemed like the way they put together that movie. It kind
Yeah.
of felt like,
well, like you
you
said,
know, this is the end.
it
This is how it's
gave
supposed to
it gave
be.
the audience so much of what they wanted. You got to see a young Indiana Jones in the beginning. You got to see his father. You got to see a father-son duo of them. Like all the sidekicks survived in the end. Yeah, the love interest was gone and whatnot, but the team rode off into the sunset, like more or less happily ever after. Like
Yeah.
this was supposed to be the wrap up.
Yeah.
Like so,
Yeah.
yeah, I wholeheartedly think this was supposed to be done. Like we'll get into the next one when we get into the next one.
Well, I would
but,
think that if
like,
it wasn't supposed to be the last one, they wouldn't have waited, what, 17, 18 years to make the next?
Yeah.
Is that, I don't know for sure,
That's
but
pretty
a
close,
long
yeah.
time.
Mhm.
Because what was it,
And-
2006 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankly, I mean, and I'm sure this isn't everybody's favorite Indiana Jones movie, but it feels to me as if it's a perfect Indiana Jones movie.
It
I
is.
agree.
Yeah.
It's well paced. Action is great all the way around. You get an intro scene. You get a family dynamic which isn't overbearing.
Yeah.
The villain is great. It's more like a puppet master teaming up with, this wild, crazy force that's about to sweep across the world.
The pursuit of the artifact is interesting from start to finish.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like there's moments in the second one where you're like, really, it's rocks. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It's some stupid
but
rock.
it's very interesting through the
Yeah.
whole story.
I think like with it, it's all the side stuff to it. Like I said, The Rock is just it's completely overshadowed by like the other atrocities that you're witnessing in the movie, to where it's
Right.
like it's more like let's like stop these people from starving. Let's stop the child like slavery. Like
Yeah.
like there's other stuff, but yeah, we're gonna steal these like the artifact as well. But I think it gets overshadowed and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, another thing that's relatable for a lot of folks with this one, of course, is the Christianity aspect of it.
Oh, and the whole crusade element, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the historical, factual basis for much of
Yeah.
it, not all of it, of course. I understand that. But, that makes it fun for someone like me. I'm a Christian and I find all that stuff interesting, and I understand this is a fictionalized version of things, but also there's fact in there too, and
Yeah.
reality based stuff. And when you can pull 250-year-old knights into an Indiana Jones movie,
Yeah,
I'll
for
take
real.
that too.
well, like I said, I think it reminds that within Western Christianity there is like mythos like that to enjoy as well.
Hmm.
Like you said, it may not be like canon or whatever, but like there is like morals and lessons to it, and like this is a part of a culture that doesn't really get talked about a lot.
Right.
And there are scriptures that like, hey, this is still the bedrock of Western civilization, and it is fun and interesting to know, and it is like a foundation of thought.
Yeah. And there was a cup of Christ that Jesus drank from, at the Last Supper.
Yeah.
Whereas like Temple of Doom, which I thought was a lot of fun, it's like, and I think a lot of Temple of Doom, the religiosity was made up. I think some of it was based in some, Eastern religious beliefs, but a lot of it was just made up. Whereas this
I can only account
is
for
more
Shiva.
reality based, and I like
I
like
don't
that.
know about the three stones, but I was like, I know Shiva's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but Shiva, I mean, let's be honest, it's
but then
it's nonsense.
But then
Sorry.
in Raiders of the Lost Ark, like I also like it. Like I said, the Ark's another Western like another Western artifact and all that. Well,
Yeah, it's a real thing.
that there is a whole like mythos to where like what did happen to it got passed around in Africa and everything for the longest time, and then like disappears. So like there is still it's like I said, it's just fun to see that portrayed on the big screen because you don't see it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think everything in a movie, like, I don't feel like I need to be able to relate to that. I think that's silly. I don't need that out of a movie. But with this, it makes it more relatable, you know, whereas, you know, and I'm not going to go into it, but in the next movie, it's like, so there's an alien skull made out of crystal, you know, and it's not, you know, it's just kind of like, whatever.
Don't give them any
Whereas
spoilers.
this, you can kind of like, you know, sink your teeth into it and kind of just gives you a little more feel for what it is they're going after.
And I'm so glad that this is the story that they told, because the original writing of the third movie had nothing to do with the cup. It was, I think, I can't even recall exactly what the storyline was, but it starts out like in a haunted estate.
Oh God.
And that's how it begins the movie, and then they move on to whatever artifacts being found. But I'm so glad that this is the direction that they ended up going in, because I think it just
They chose wisely.
They did. They chose very wisely.
Yes.
Like
A
Indiana
haunted
Holy Grail is a
estate?
way better story.
Yeah, I was doing some reading, and it was like, the first like quarter of the movie is them like arriving to this estate. I don't know if it's based in like
Well, I'm glad
Romania kind of
I'm glad we didn't
vibe
get a
or
ghost
what.
story.
I mean, maybe that could be
Yeah.
good. I don't
Yeah.
know, but they went the right route. You're
Yes.
absolutely right.
Yeah, I don't know if a haunted ghost story would be good for Indiana Jones.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That or like aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, I say unless he's like debunking some type of ghost story and everything. Kind of like here with the trials and everything. I bet like a lot of religious people at the time probably thought it was like a religious, you know, intervention that was killing these people. And it's like, well, if you really just know the riddle and know like, hey, kneel and roll, you
Yeah.
won't get your head chopped off either here or when you bow. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, or if you know like how to speak Latin spell. Like,
Yeah.
once again, though, let's be honest, that would have tripped up a lot of people throughout history. Because
Yeah.
how long was it before a majority of people were literate? Let alone then were they even literate in Latin? So,
Yeah.
like, I like that. That's a great trap.
I'm glad you brought that up. I love that sequence of going through the trials.
Oh,
And you brought up a good point. How many people know to kneel and then move forward? Well, the scripture just says to kneel before. So anybody who had done that trial probably just knelt
yeah.
and did not move forward. But really, it's about throwing yourself at the feet. So if you were to throw yourself, your momentum is moving forward.
You had to, and we all know what it means, but I had never heard the word penitent.
Mm.
And basically it means repentant.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're humbling yourself before the Almighty in this case. So many, you know, even having that clue potentially wouldn't think like,
No,
I'm going to physically humble myself, you know, to avoid this horrific death.
Words matter.
Yeah.
Like,
Again,
that's,
and you
this is a
move on
great
to-
example of it, and all for real.
Yeah, these
Like,
were this was a very cleverly written movie.
It was.
Yeah.
The bridge scene, or the hidden
Yeah.
the leap of faith.
which I like how that was even like foreshadowing in his dad's office.
Yeah.
Like when you actually see him look around, he turned to Marcus like, "Do you believe Marcus?" And all. And it's like the picture of an old boy like walking toward the Grail, like in between two cliffs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
But
so-
you think about that phrase in itself, it's a leap of faith. It's not a step of faith or a
Yeah.
tiptoe of faith.
Mm.
You know, he looks over the edge and it looks like the bottom of a canyon.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if he had taken a small step,
illusion.
he doesn't get to that bridge, but it's a leap. And he took that big long giant step.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's all about this like just
Well, like I said, even if that
Leading
the
with
drop
faith
of that step, even if it was
is how
like
you
that
make it
much,
through these
yeah,
trials.
how much would you tiptoe? Even like I said, like
Mhm.
before, like you know, like you just like I said, you just have to go to hit that spot.
yeah.
Yep. It was very excellently done. Absolutely. I like the way he, you know, basically took that moment and, you know, basically to believe, you know, and like, I'm going to do this. I
Yeah.
better believe it.
Or he's like, "Fuck it,"
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. But I also like the way he threw the sand over the top of it
yeah.
to help aid in the belief when he goes back across.
Yeah.
Well, or like I said, for anybody that's like following is the way I took it too, because like I said, at that point, because he even set the blades where they wouldn't reset.
Hmm.
because you would assume that they're resetting each time in some way. Just because like he keeps sending people up that damn staircase, like, and their heads keep coming back.
Yeah.
So like there's obviously something there that's doing it. So he set that, and then like you said, I don't know how they figure out the other one. Like they would have to figure that riddle out on their own as they go.
The Jehovah one.
Yeah, because it's not like
Oh.
it's not like he reminded them. Everybody was like, "Oh, well, you spell it this way."
Right.
I mean,
When the J was like big front center,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's like they want to bait you into that
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. What do you think about the chalice itself? I remember being a kid and thinking like,
love it.
why is that the chalice? Why
No,
isn't it gold and ruby like the one you
Right.
picked up and
No,
now being
even as a kid, because I remember there was like I had like a plastic drinking cup that was similar. Like as a child, I remember playing the same thing with it
Yeah.
and all. So it was like that works. Like I love that that's the way it looked like. Not because of what it was or because like I thought like any type of esoteric thing or some shit. Like it was just because I had one similar. Like, but
right?
I loved the cup. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I also remember like pointing out every time I'd watch it, like I like that cup or I like that one. Like, which one would you pick was always the thing.
Mhm.
Like, like would I have really chosen that one? Like,
Yeah. I just love how they stayed true
yeah,
to it thematically. You know, he chose the carpenter's cup, Jesus
Yeah.
the carpenter. You know, I just love how they continued to emphasize that theme and that message the entire time and never tried to deviate from it
Right.
to bring out something for entertainment purposes. You know,
no,
Uh-huh.
I just thought it was very
they didn't
very
try
well.
to take liberties with the story of the
Exactly.
Grail. Like I said, the actual story of it is intact in itself.
Yep. Again, very, very smartly done. Very true to the likely scenario. You know,
Mhm.
Jesus was not a rich man. Now, somebody may have said, "Here, use my fancy cup," but it's just as likely that Jesus carried with him a cup that looked very similar to that.
carved, yeah.
You know. So I like the little touches like that.
Yeah.
And that's not really a little touch; that's central. But I really like that.
Yeah.
If only if Elsa would have just left it before the threshold.
Yeah.
That's her downfall. She was greedy. Like overall, like useful and whatnot, like good looking, intelligent. It's like, bitch, you're just greedy. Like leave the cup,
Well-
leave the cup there. You could have taken any of the others beyond the threshold. Just don't take that one. The others are made of gold and jeweled.
Right, but it's not the cup of Christ.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Like old boy said, you can't take this one. I'm gonna listen to the Infinity Knight in the corner.
Right. I could see
Like,
really
Come
being
on.
wanting to get that cup no matter what. I could totally see it.
Yeah.
oh,
And
I
that's
can
the
see
motive
it.
of every
Right.
Yeah.
person in every story that they've told. It's
Yeah.
about getting that artifact and
Yeah.
taking it. You know, so it would not make sense for them to be like, there it is. Now we're gonna go home.
Yeah.
You know, it just that's
Which-
another one of those tying things. That
And
you're like,
but that's your downfall. You didn't listen.
No, she
didn't listen to God.
She wasn't
Like,
smart, but
yeah.
it made it all the more beautiful, of course, when Indy's reaching for it, and you know, Henry, who's spent his whole life basically going after this cup, finally, because Indy, of course, has been questioning this sort of thing his whole life, chooses his son over the possibility of having the cup.
And when he finally's like Indiana, and he's
Yeah.
like, shit. Like,
Yeah, it's
you
really,
actually
really
called me by what I prefer to be called. Because once again, this is the dog's name. This isn't what I named you, motherfucker. Like you're like I said, that would be like your boy wanting to be like called the dog's name the rest of his damn life, right?
Be
Like
weird.
all the time, yeah. And then finally, you have to save his life and be like, all right, Duke or whatever the fuck your dog's
Right. Now,
name is.
Duke's a pretty
like,
good name, but
I mean, it would
point
be
taken.
It would be interesting, yeah. But let's be honest, there's some dumb names out
Right.
there, like. So yeah, but it's the equivalent, like you said. Like it's a father, like, dude, I'll capitulate to your bullshit. Just come on, like that's the way I looked at that there. To where like, motherfucker, like, yeah, like you just saw the German broad fall down the same hole, the same way, like.
Yeah.
I think the way I see it is like, Indy has made a persona of himself.
Oh, he's
that combines this element of his father and this
an old
man
boy,
that he
and that's
idolized.
that's
And
Indiana.
I think Henry finally is like,
He's created an
I
ego.
see who you really are. I
Yeah.
see you who you've created, not the
Yep.
person that I.
He
create,
created
you know.
created Indiana as an alter ego, but he is Dr. Jones. Like that's like him being Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Exactly.
Like that's what we got here. Like
Well, all right, fellas. We got any last points of interest before we get to this board?
No, I'm down to rank shit.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move to segment 2, people. The rankings. Let's start with the movie first. Where do you want to put it, Barry?
I vote. I don't want to presume too much necessarily, but I vote we go backward because the
Backward.
movie's the most important of the things we're ranking.
Okay. So you want to start
so
with
we
the
hold
villain?
off. Is that cool?
You wanna
That's
talk-
cool with me.
you wanna talk villain?
So we're gonna do villain first.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. What was his name again?
Donovan, is that
Donovan, yeah.
Oh,
All right, Donovan.
I immediately said Walter. Like,
right? I like that kind of character, kind of the rich, smart guy who's going to be underhanded, but I like that. I'm going to put him at 1.
1.
Yeah.
Okay. Thomas.
yeah, I mean, I liked the power reach that he had was, like huge. He had extra connections because of the Nazis.
Do we need to break it down and go back?
I mean, because he definitely has old boy from Temple beat.
Okay.
Just because of reach, I'll say, and in terms of like villainry and whatnot. Like I said, I think it's just.
Tom, we'll come back to you,
Yeah,
David.
come back to me because I'm torn between either 1 and 2 with him.
Okay.
I think 1.
1.
Yeah, he's cunning. He's very, very intelligent, and he knows how to work everybody to his advantage. I think that's when we look at like Bond villains and we look at notorious villains throughout the sagas and series. Those are the pinnacle villains, and I like him in that number 1 spot. I think that he pulls off that villain sort of masquerade so much better than who's the first movie? I'm blanking on
The
villain. From
it's
the first movie.
that I can't remember what his.
I don't know the guy's name.
I think we should have did some research before I did it.
We're
But I
just
can't
bad
remember.
with names
This,
today.
Yeah,
this is why Holtz is always here roll calling for us.
Yeah.
I know he's got the.
But
the
I think
itemized
he does a
list.
better job than the villain from the first movie because I think the villain from the first movie he's smart to an extent, but really he just uses other people to get things and is really kind of ineffective most of the time.
Well, he was French and he bitched out most of the time.
That happens too.
And Kali Mall guy was just scary. I mean,
Right.
he's just an intimidating figure. I don't know that he's necessarily like the pinnacle of a villain.
I'm gonna go 1, just because from the start of this movie, like I said, everybody's playing his game.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the whole thing in the beginning is just about the damn book. He doesn't care about Jones Sr. He really doesn't even care about Indy. He just wants Indy to lead them to it. So, like I said, he's already, like, leading this stuff and setting up stuff, like, almost like fucking with Jones. Even, like I said, when he puts him on the plane, was like, trust nobody. That's almost like just, like, stroking your own fucking ego. Like, you're the puppet master, like, watching him, and you're gonna ransack his shit no matter what anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, so yeah, I'll give it to him just because of like the oversight of the whole operation.
Yeah, that's how I kind of felt. Like
Right.
he was pulling the strings. He pulling the strings, giving me breadcrumbs, pulling the strings, and then the reveal at the castle.
Well, and honestly, he was, like I said, not just the reveal at the castle, but then he's, ruthless to the point. He's like, even when like who's gonna go in there? Like, you are, Jones. I'm like, no, pow. Like, well, now you've got to, or your
Yeah.
father's gonna die. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, no one else got that, like, that kind of one up on Jones. Like, none of Jones's sidekicks really died, except for
Yeah.
I guess, like, the little, like, bastard monkey and whatnot from the date. But
He was a Nazi.
yeah, but everybody else around Jones survived. So it was one of those things. Like, here's one that actually got shot, and it's like, man, you gotta save him. Like, so yeah, but he was the only one that actually did it. Because, like I said, the French guy could have, like, coup de grace old broad anytime. but he just had like a hard on for her. But the German could have like tortured her or been done with it too. So it's one of those things that like this was the only one around Jones that actually got hurt. It seems.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's a consensus.
Everyone
Yeah.
seems to like
All
Donovan.
right. Numero uno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Barry. How do you feel about old Dr. Schneider?
I
Lovers.
love Dr. Schneider. Who
Yeah,
does?
this-
If you're a
this is Team Schneider.
live man,
Schneider.
you
Like-
probably love Dr. Elsa Schneider.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Put her at one, brother.
Oh, Elsa.
I think this
Okay.
would be a pretty easy consensus.
right.
I think for
Yeah.
that one.
There's no argument whatsoever. Like,
Not only is she the most attractive of the three to this point, and
no.
I'm not trying to belittle the other two,
she
but
speaks for
but it
no,
is
I will
also
belittle
a
them.
great character as well.
I
It
will
is.
berate and belittle. Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
endearing. She's just.
I don't
great.
know if she was more attractive to Ridley Scott, but she was probably the most plot-based female in the three. The other two, I mean, one had her dad's whatever the fuck, that medallion thing. The other one was just a screaming bitch the whole time. So
Yeah.
Schneider was probably the most useful out of the three.
Oh yeah.
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 She's the one I'd most want to hang out with.
She's a doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor.
And she can't stand forward men. Like,
She's against it.
yeah. Like,
Oh my gosh. All right.
classy lady, Barry.
Henry Jones Sr.
All right. All right. Here, the question going into this: How are we rating the side? Like, are they effective or likable? What are we rating?
Well, however
Well,
you want to rank them.
We've
you son
yeah,
of a
because we've
bitch.
been through this road before, and I had my own ideas on the Bond girls. Barry had his own list, so it's really just a free for all, really.
All right.
I mean, I feel like we think, what do sidekicks do? How do they best prop up the hero? How do they best support the
Okay,
hero?
that's a good standard basis.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where I would say, ranking a sidekick is how effective are they to the hero themselves?
Yeah.
I'd say it's between Jones Sr. then and Sala.
Okay.
Because Sala comes in clutch, like, not only in that, but in this one too. Yeah, he needs camels to, like, kind of break even for his brother's car. But, I mean, this is the only sidekick that we see, like, actually be useful 2 times. Like, and we go support 2 times.
Yeah, but Sala's not technically a sidekick in this movie.
He's perhaps a secondary sidekick.
He's a
Oh, no,
secondary
yeah.
character.
But I'm saying as far as usefulness. So we are saying like Jones Sr. is the sidekick in 3.
Yeah.
So but now we're ranking the sidekicks. I'm
Right.
still saying I want Sala as number 1. Because
Okay.
he's useful in multiple movies.
Okay.
But this may not be your list.
Yeah.
This is not my list.
Yes, nor is it really mine. But you put him at 3.
No, I'll put him at 2.
So you want him at 2?
So then Sala would move down. Based on
because we
this
have
list.
short round at 1.
Oh, yeah.
Well, while Tom thinks that over, I take into account everything David said as far as effectiveness and stuff. But with all of these,
Yeah.
characters, I take a look at every aspect of them, and you can't top Sean Connery as a sidekick
I
in a
mean,
movie.
I mean, we can
I
go
put him at 1.
from the umbrella, from the pin, because he shot the pin off, right? The pin is mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
So he had the pin
which
thing.
Brody should not have.
He did all the research for the book. He was pretty much the plot device for part of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Short
he's-
round, I'll give him credit. He was street smart and he got some shit done. But I think Henry Jones Sr. is probably tops the cake.
Oh yeah, classic character. I mean, I love Short Round, but he's no Henry Jones.
Well, you gotta think Indy is not Indy without Henry.
Yeah.
I think the reason why he's an archaeologist and an adventurer and loves to pursue these things is because his father did.
Yeah.
And his father provides him a majority of the knowledge, and saves his butt a couple times.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I think the fact that they really leaned into this father-son relationship just makes that duo more impactful and meaningful when you're
Oh, yeah.
watching and
Once again,
viewing
it's
this.
very Spielberg.
So I feel like he has to be number one.
Mm.
I mean, just on that basis alone.
Tommy Hilfiger, we going one?
No, I'm outvoted because I still believe like at this point, like after 3 movies in, I think Solid deserves number 1, Dr. Jones Senior 2, Short Round 3.
Okay. All right.
But I do agree that this movie only gets pushed along because of Jones Senior's knowledge. So I do acknowledge that.
Okay. Good deal. All right. The movie itself, Barry.
It's 1.
One.
It's 1.
I'm
Yeah.
saying it's 2.
You're saying it's 2. Okay.
1 for me.
1. It's my favorite one, Tom.
You son of a bitch.
Well, let me hear the reasoning, Tom. Why is it 2?
1, because like I said, it's very late 80s, early 90s, very sticky. Like in terms of like all the jokes that I was saying, very culturally of its time. It isn't original in the sense that it's the 3rd in the franchise. So I'll give it to number 1 because the originality, the grittiness of it, and like how the character was introduced, as well as it's the only one that has had a callback so far, like we talked about when they were in the Vatican or down in Italy. So not only was it the first, but it was good enough that people understand the callback just from that little joke. Like you don't even have to know Raiders of the Lost Ark was a thing before that or have seen it. You just know that the first one is about the Ark and it didn't end well and Jones is pissed. Like that's how big, like I said, in pop culture at the time,
Okay.
the movie was. So, like I said, like, yeah, I mean, even in terms that we see reoccurring characters later on in future films of it, to like I said, it's enough that it gets called back throughout the franchise, and it's the only one that I see getting it so far.
So that's why you want to put it 2 because you like Raiders more.
Yeah, I'm arguing that Raiders is still number 1.
Okay.
Well, you lose, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for placing your bets.
Yeah,
No,
you chose
like,
poorly.
No, I knew it would have because one like Holtz like he even kind of like texted me and he's like no you know this one goes number 1. I was like no 1940s housewives rules, you don't get a vote, like, and I still got outvoted, but yeah.
Well, I
Like,
think it's convincing when the villain from this movie goes number 1, the lover from this movie goes number 1, the sidekick goes number 1.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense not to put the movie number 1. If
Yeah,
I mean,
would
I
it
feel
agree.
is,
like all the components of it are
it's all there,
great.
and like I said, I get the argument, and like I said, I'll even argue along up to the sidekick and the love interest. Well, I just think she's a better. I don't know. All Nazism aside, her greediness aside, like the best of the 3 in my opinion here.
Yeah, this movie is a perfect comedy action adventure.
It is.
It's perfect.
And it should have been the end. This would have been a perfect song or swan song to hang your hat on. Like, even down to the riding off in the sunset. Like,
Then a couple of guys who didn't have shit going on decided, hey, let's make a 4th one. 20 years later,
as long as that money keeps coming in, I guess.
I guess.
Disney will keep reheating that turd.
Gotta milk that
Well,
cash
he wasn't
cow.
at Disney yet. This was a pre-Disney one.
But it's coming.
Yeah.
You don't think they're going to open up the Indiana Jones universe like they did?
They
with
have a
everything
Disney
else?
one. It's called The Dial of Destiny. That's the 5th one, Tom.
I still haven't seen it.
I watched 20 minutes and had to stop
I
myself.
still haven't seen it.
Oh, looking forward to that.
But anyway, so the rankings as follows: Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Henry Jones, Short Round and Sala, Dr. Schneider, Miriam, Willie Scott, Donovan, the Temple of Doom fella, and then the bitchy Frenchman. Is how we're closing out this
That guy can
episode.
hold his drink though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before I close this up?
No.
All right.
I think so.
Thanks for
Thanks, Red.
tuning in to Blockbuster Bums. We'll see you next week. Peace.